Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. What's popping, guys? Welcome to Zir Talks and Football Rig. Welcome to another episode, third one of Top BINS YA AKHI. Here to talk about not just news regarding Premier League, but all other leagues. How we might even talk about some Saudi League stuff as well to kick things off. And Football Rig, Sami, Shakhbar.
All good, man. All good. How's things from your end? Yeah, there's a lot that happened during this week. Sorry, guys, we couldn't make it on Wednesday. Only this week we're gonna make it on Friday. Next week, inshallah, we will go back to our normal schedule. But yeah, man, there's a lot to talk about. I'm excited about this window. It's been crazy. So let's just dig into it.
Yeah, before we do though, guys,
Mhm.
you have one thing to do, and if you don't do this, you're moving like my club. Yeah, you're moving like my club if you don't do this. You slap the likes, you subscribe, and you
Yes.
comment your way, alarm bells, all that stuff. Go check the socials, and inshallah you're well wherever you are, man. Now I say we kick things off. You know what, man? I say we
Tell
kick
me.
things off like Syria, not too long on stuff that's been happening in Saudi. Because I mean, obviously, you wanted to have a little bit of a say on the some matters. Ratagi joining Al Qadsiya, it's done.
Hmm.
And then there have been other moves. For example, I mean, Al Nasr going through it a little bit. Hanchko, they were going to get him, and then he goes to Atletico Madrid um, from Feyenoord. El Hilal pulling out of the Super Cup. We can talk a little bit about that as well. So what's your thoughts, man, as a whole? Al Ahly replacing him too.
Well, I think the Saudi League in general have made some moves in the market, but I don't think they managed to convince a lot of players this season. We've seen
Yeah.
the approaches to many players, but I don't think they managed to convince them with the project. And the most latest one is Isak. I mean, we heard Al Hilal is trying to approach Isak agents and trying to convince him with the project with the crazy amount of money,
Mm.
but yet we don't see him, even considering the offer, even though the offer was put, we heard between half a million to 1 million pound a week, which is a crazy amount of money.
Yeah.
So I think he's leveraging that to see what he can get from other Premier League. We heard that he wants to go to Liverpool. So a lot's going on in Saudi League, but all I hear, like from Fabrizio and the most reliable journalists, that you hear like 2 3 clubs in Saudi are interested, but I don't really know exactly which clubs are interested because some of them are owned by the same entity. So it's hard to say which club are interested on which player.
You know what it is for me with Saudi League. I mean, first off, with the Isak thing, which we'll talk to about in a bit. I'm not gonna lie. Over time, I come to realize it's a PR stunt. You know, I'm not gonna
You think
lie.
so? You think so?
Uh, Bro, because both clubs are owned by PIF. I thought about it recently, and I'm like,
Mm,
to be honest, two clubs are owned by PIF, like Newcastle and Al Hilal,
yeah,
right? And
yeah.
like, and this is where I realize, okay, it's a PR stunt. The guy wants £300,000 a week at Newcastle. So then why all معروف, it's معروف that we need a striker, Al Hilal. So then they're like, you know what gets people talking? It got me talking for a day. Oh, Isak, Al Hilal, boom. So yeah, it's one of those. Now, in regards to Saudi clubs being linked to different play, I agree with you 100%. Now, every club has its own issue. But I will say this with Saudi news and like us being like as a whole, like Saudi being linked to a certain player, it is a mystery when it comes to like which club is it. But
Mm.
usually what I do, and I don't know if you do the same, you look at what's going on at each club and you're like, which one is more likely to be the one linked with them based on what they need, you know? Like usually if it's a left winger, I'm like, okay, it's either Al Ahli or Al Nasr, because they're like the two clubs that really need a left winger. Actually,
And
Al
then,
Ittihad.
in this case, it's going to be very difficult for me to determine, really, because I don't really watch the league, so I
Yeah, yeah,
wouldn't
no,
know.
no,
I
but
wouldn't
like,
know which one would want the winger or the striker or defender or whatever
yeah.
the case is.
It's one of those. It's one of those scenarios. But then apparently also you have links of like Otavio to Al Ahli. That's another one. But that's
Okay.
across the league. Um, it'll be very interesting. But you know what, Ratagi to Al Qadsiya, I mean, we know why they got him because Aubameyang left the club.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
which, to be honest, I'm not gonna lie, and this is me saying this as a Hilal fan. We should have had a go at Aubameyang. I actually think Aubameyang could have done a job at Al Hilal, but it is what it is. Um, so yeah, man, very interesting stuff. But that's transfers in general, you know. Um, now this is where I feel like you'll have a strong opinion. I actually have a strong opinion too. Um, now for those who don't know, guys, we were supposed to play in the Super Cup August. I think we're starting from August 20th or something, right? Against Al
Okay.
Qadsiya. But now it's Al Ahly taking our spot because they got invited since we withdrew from the competition
Right.
because of us being in the Club World Cup. Now, people internally in the country are all against Al Hilal's decision, which, to be honest, I 100% agree with those people, which is coming from Al Hilal fan, right? Now, I wanted to know what your thoughts are, Sami.
I mean, it depends on how much they value the tournament itself, really. But if it's one of the top tournaments in the domestic cups here in Saudi, then they shouldn't really. They shouldn't. They should adapt their schedule based on the domestic leagues here they have, and they need to compete it. Not only for the sake of the club, but also for the sake of the fans, because I think the fans also wants to compete in the such domestic cups and wants to win it as well. So it really depends on how much you guys rate the tournament itself. Like, is it one of the big tournaments? Is it something that you guys really desire every season, or is just like a secondary cup for Al Hilal? So it's completely up to the board and the club to determine is it really worth it for them or not. But I'm sure as a fan, you want to compete in every tournament, you want to win everything.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, but from the board level, they want to see is it feasible? Well, are they going to take a risk of the players maybe getting injured, maybe getting fatigued before the kickoff of the season? I mean, for whatever reasons, they determined that they don't want to participate in this tournament. That's their call.
Yeah, no, you know what? Like for me, the reason why I don't agree with the club's decision, I understand. We were in the Club World Cup. They want to rest this
Mm.
area with too many games. All I understand, right?
Yeah.
That's what they get in Europe. Complaints of all this. Even here is the same. But my thing is that let's be honest. Majority of the clubs are going through the same issue as Al Hilal. At least the ones that have competed in the Club World Cup, right?
Okay.
So I don't think this whole thing of like, oh, well, they need rest, so we want to withdraw this is a good excuse. You know, everyone is getting equal. I mean, at least the ones that were in the Club World Cup are getting equal amount of play. Now, in this out of the Saudi clubs, is that the case? No, because we were the only ones in the tournament. You know, of the Club World
Okay.
Cup. But even then, I just feel like for the club that we are, it's not a good look to just say, "Oh yeah, I want to withdraw because we need rest, rest, rest." Like, you suck it up and move on. That's the way I see it. So, you know, if we're getting fined and penalized or whatever it is what it is, bro. Some Hilal fans not gonna like the opinion I have, but tough in it.
Tough luck. And on another note, I mean, I'm happy to see the Saudi league now also allowing investments. I heard there was an
Yeah,
American business,
Al Khulud
Al
have a new
Khulud,
investor
yes.
from
So
outside.
that opens a really a huge door for and opportunities for a lot of investments in Saudi Pro League. So, and this is what I wanted to see. I wanted to see like people starting to invest in the league. That means it's reaching now hypes to a level that people are actually thinking to invest. Either they are American business owners, or European or even domestic owners. I'm happy to see this. I'm really, really happy to see this. That
Yeah.
the government is now, allowing the other entities to acquire the clubs. That also helps the club to develop and reach new heights.
Yeah, man. Yeah, but you know what? By the way, I don't know if you heard about this. I think they are consider the league itself. I think they're considering in starting from next summer that they implement like this whole rule. in which you're only allowed to spend like 80% of your income. I don't know if that's true or not. Now, if that's true, it's a very risky game. صراحة. I get why they want to do it because they want to help the competitors from below go up. لكن at the same time, will it be helpful in appealing players من برا? You know, from outside? I have no idea. Um,
Well, look, from a business perspective, it protects the club and also protects the player from going bankrupt as a club, or not being able to expend, or the expense pay the expenses that you have, and the expenditure, and the head count that you have, and knowing that sometimes what the owners, and this is why they put the regulations even in Europe or the Premier League in general, where investors start to take loans and put the clubs in debts and everything, and never pay it off, and the clubs start even drowning and going bankrupt eventually. So these rules are there to protect the clubs and also to protect the players and their rights as well, and their financial rights. So I think it has to happen at a certain point. It has to happen, because people will start want to take some shortcuts. They want to spend more than they earn, which is not feasible in the long run. So I think
uh,
those rules needs to be there eventually.
yeah, eventually. I mean, yeah, but well, the thing is, right now, if we look at the clubs, يعني,
Mhm.
if we look, so we have obviously those big fours, really, we all know who they are, right? Nasser, Hilal, Ahli, Ittihad. You have Qadsiya, Aramco backed, Neom, it's backed by itself, you know, right? And then you have Khulud now, new investor, right?
Right.
Other than that, realistically speaking, and you obviously have like Shabab, but Shabab is a weird one because Shabab is not one of them clubs in which has massive backing, but they have certain pull about them because back then they used to be a bigger entity than they are now. For those who don't know, um, like they're just there, like so, but they're still around. And obviously you have like Ta'awan 2 seasons ago, they gave it a run, so like they're trying to maintain, but even they struggled last season to maintain, you know. So maybe that's why they're putting these rules, so like others can it can help others like build and maintain, so while others don't take it, advantage the bigger clubs. But I don't know, it'll be interesting to see how it goes. It'll be interesting to see how it goes. But the reason why I say it's risky is because obviously a lot of the players from outside, what pulls them to come here is the money, right? Like
Mhm.
how we usually do operate. We approach the player, offer them the money, talk about the project, then they decide to come, and then it goes with the club, between the clubs. That's usually what happens. So I'm interested to see how things go, man. But I think they have to be very careful with this strategy. Very careful. That's what I would say.
Yeah, can you pull out Abdullah's comment, the first one?
I واحد because he put a couple. Big up Abdullah, by the way.
The first one.
Oh, the financial regulation.
Yes, he's saying here financial regulation is nonsense. It's not to protect clubs. It's to protect the big clubs, nothing else. And he gave an example of Man United. But listen, it is to protect the clubs, because what business owners do, and the smart ones do, they never spend their own money, right? They always spend and take loans on the club's name, and they pawn their assets and all that stuff. So, and that's why Man United, I mean, can have such a debt, because Man United can pay the debt over a certain period of time. Other clubs may not be able to do or have the same leverage as Man United, but I think it is there to protect the clubs and also to protect the players, because if the club cannot pay its expenses, that means the players cannot receive their salaries. That's what it means basically, because that's the most expensive portion of their financial statement
You know what it
and
is?
income
I'll be
statement. Yeah.
real. I'll be real. Um, I think we see like in the case, like because he brought Newcastle as an example, صح? He brought Newcastle as an
Hmm.
example. Now
Right.
with Newcastle United, I think in that context, Abdullah is not wrong, right? Because Newcastle have the money, they should be able to like spend what they have. But then here's the thing, like in the context that we're talking about, the Saudi league, because remember, Saudi League only got to be popular when Ronaldo first joined, and then the influence of his is now bringing other people and the money. I think, if like in our case, it's not really the same as in England. I think that's what it is, bro. So yeah,
No, it's
this cup.
totally different because the I
I
mean
don't
the
think it's the
fans
same.
that
Like
they have.
In England, believe me, I actually think because for England, a lot of clubs make a lot of money, right? So when
Yeah,
a lot
because
of clubs make
they
a
have
lot
the
of
global
money,
they have the
they
global
should be able to
presence, you know.
spend that money. But in
Mm.
Saudi, the problem is not all clubs. Like people think everything in Saudi is rich and all this. That's such a myth. Like
It's
they,
not about that. It's about the base fan that you have. Like how many fans of Al Hilal you have across the globe, for example.
I mean, all Saudi clubs are building fan bases. It's not like every
That's what I
single
mean.
one.
That's
Every
what I
single
mean.
one
I
of
mean,
them, and Nasser's building a fan base because of Ronaldo. Al Hilal, maybe if there was a name or stand, like there you go,
mm,
like or like some Portuguese fan because of a certain player from Portugal that we have, Serbia,
mm.
same thing, or Al Ahli with Mahrez, like Lee Gunner, for example, he chose Al Ahli because of Mahrez, you know,
Yeah, I
like
understand, and
so.
that's the strategy to put Saudi league in the scene as fast as you can is getting those player with the huge followers or fan bases like Ronaldo or like you said Mahrez and all these stars, and they try to go for Messi, for example, before he joined Inter Miami, and because of their pull, Messi alone, look how many fans of Messi you have across the globe, and look how many fans you have of Ronaldo. I mean, he has 1 billion follower on Instagram. I mean, that's the influence of getting such a caliber player that you want to attract as much as fans as you want to the league and audiences.
Yeah, by the way, Yasser's right. Slap the likes al club.
What? شي معسل خوينا. Hey, it's Friday, man. Chill.
Hey, listen, he said it, not me, bro. He said it, bro. But it's typical Chelsea fan behavior, though. So, Mishi.
Mm.
And anyway, what's anyway? Hey, love for the love, man. Love for the. But anyway, I say we move on from this topic. You know what?
Yeah.
Let's get to your club. Yeah, I feel like we need to make you feel a bit happy. لازم نستمتعك شوي فهمت؟
Hey, man, I'm over the roof with the Gyökeres signing, man. So
Yeah, man. Well, listen, obviously the Bomba happened a few days ago. I remember you did a stream and then I gave you the breaking news as you're just talking
yeah, yeah, yeah.
about other
Mm.
pieces of news and you're like, huh? Hey,
Yeah,
during the
yeah.
stream
I
and all
didn't
that
see him.
stuff. And then now it looks like he's getting Thierry Henry's number, bro.
Yes,
What you
yes.
say?
Well, I think all Arsenal fans have been waiting for this moment to have a real striker over the line, and we just hope that we continue this summer transfer window by topping it with another winger. And of course, the dream here is Rodrigo. But if we get also Eze, I'm happy with Eze, and I think we have a good chances of winning something next season. Even though Liverpool are moving mad, but I still think that we have a good chance because if we look at the previous season, not having a striker, having a lot of injuries like Saka or Odegaard or this and that, and we still ended up second. Says a lot. Says that we still have a room for improvement and we can go for first, but we're not that bad. We're not that far from being top. This is what I mean, and these are the elements and the pieces that we needed, which is the attacking players, because we really needed an attacking mindset player like a number 9 or a number 10 or a midfield who can create. And Gyökeres is one of the players that are the most hot assets in Europe currently. I don't think you would find a striker putting out similar numbers as Gyökeres. Could he flop? Of course, there's also always a possibility that he might flop or flourish. But I think I'll put my money on the lateral because I think that he's able to replicate. Even if he replicates half of the numbers that he was putting in Sporting, I'm going to be very happy with that. So let's wait and see.
Yeah. By the way, can I just say, listen, I'm one for trolling Arsenal, but I have to admit, people are overdoing it with the whole, oh, Gyökeres will probably be a flop because Arteta's coaching him or this. Let's be honest, bro. I think the fact you got Zubi Mendy in, um, you have Declan Rice. Now, am I the biggest fan of him going forward? No, but I think maybe he and Zubi Mendy could form something. Um, and then again, this is the guy that needs to wake up. I said it before. I'll say it again. Odegaard. لازم يصحصح الأخ.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, for sure, man.
that
Yeah.
guy needs to wake up, bro. Um,
Mm.
and you have Saka who's probably gonna like if things click there, why not Gyökeres score a good amount of goals? You know, and you guys love your set pieces. Why? Well, you're saying Gyökeres can't score out of set pieces?
No, he can. I mean, he
Yeah, but that's
demonstrated
what I
that he
mean.
can.
So like people are over like one thing I will say though, what will hurt you is your manager. Your manager is the one that will hurt you more so than anything else.
Mm.
Because
Mm.
for the first time, I actually think, bar Madueke, the Madueke one, stinker and hooked. Bar that, I actually think you've not done bad business.
Yeah, me neither. I don't think majority of Arsenal fans think that we had a stinker when it comes to the transfer window so far. But let's see how it ends. We need the winger. We really need a winger. I mean, our left side is very, very weak compared to our right side, so that puts us in an imbalanced situation when it comes to the formation and the way we want to play. And yes, I see the comments that people saying that Arteta needs to change the way he plays. I totally agree.
This
He
one
needs
as
to
well.
change.
Oh, go.
Yeah.
I'm going to read that comment as well.
Yeah, so Arteta needs to change the way he plays, in a similar manner how Guardiola shifted from Aguero to playing a false nine to going back to Haaland and then playing again to a conventional number nine. So you need to adapt and change your tactics based on the assets and the players that you have. And now you have a gunsman, so you need to utilize it as much as possible. That means that you need to create
Yeah.
as much as possible for him. So you need to allow your wingers to create. You need to allow the attacking midfield to create for Gyökeres and give them as much as possible passes inside the box and try to convert it to goals. So yeah, Arteta definitely needs to change something.
Yeah, and that would mean give your players more freedom to play ball. Now, Kenny, I'll be real. Big up to you. So I'm guessing he's a Newcastle fan. Saying if Isak goes to Liverpool, okay, I get it. Yes, Liverpool favorite, we get it. However, um, we're talking about Arsenal at the moment, bro. You get me? Like, and the thing is with Arsenal, obviously, I don't think they'll win the league. But one thing I will say is, Ali, listen, I think they should do better by because of the Madueke thing. Still don't understand it to this day. But at the same time, at least they're doing something that fans that's been calling out Arsenal out for so many years, they're doing what they have to be done. So when credit is there to be given, I'll give the credit, bro. That's just how I operate. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, we'll give
it's
credit when it's due, of course.
yeah,
But
bro. That's it. I'm
Liverpool,
not saying that
Liverpool,
they
and
didn't.
yeah, Liverpool, even without Isak, for me, they are the most likely team that will win the league as things stand if nothing changes.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think.
bro. As of right now, I think Liverpool. I mean, and that's a good way to transition. Like, I think Liverpool can go for a league and Champions League, bro. Like, that's how good. That's how good their window's been moving. You know.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just one of them. But you know what? Good way to transition, man. I mean, a lot's been going on at Liverpool. Na'udhu billah.
Man, I don't know what's happening there, man. Shit, man. I'm
Bro,
telling. They're having an unprecedented transfer window, man. I never witnessed a transfer window this crazy. And I mentioned this many, many times in my videos. Since Real Madrid back in '09, when they signed Ronaldo, Kaká, and Benzema in one window, I never seen such a crazy window from a club since then. And Liverpool are doing it, and they're sending a statement that look, we're not here just to win the league. We're here also to dominate the league. We're here to continue winning, and they want to build like a dynasty, and I respect that. I respect the ambitions of the owners and the club and the coach, the head coach. I really respect what they're doing, man. Nobody can say Liverpool are bad or doing crazy business. I think they're doing what's best for the club, and I think that's the right way to do it. Is get the best players out there. They got Verts, the best number 10 out there, and now they're aiming at Isak. Debate. People would argue he's the best number 9 currently in the world in form. So what next? I think they're just gonna get a defender, and maybe even maybe if they sell Luis Diaz to Bayern Munich, you bums are gonna fund the Rodrigo as well. Rodrigo deal.
Well, I mean, to be honest, I mean, I think they're looking at Isak now more than Rodrigo. I don't know what they're looking at anymore, bro. But whichever one of them, not ideal for me. I'll be real.
Do you think they will able to play Ekitike and Isak in the same at the same
So
time?
this is what I was talking. I was talking to Football Ria. He's a Liverpool fan. I was on his stream earlier today. Um, I would. It would be interesting to see how they form their attack,
Hmm.
because here's the thing: they have if they get Isak, and they already have Ekitike who they signed.
Yeah.
Ekitike, he's one of them guys that can play anywhere in the attack. He can. He's not really a striker. He's more like a false nine. You know, um, and we know how Isak moves as well. He can move from the width wide areas. He can drop deep and like connect with others. Like link
Yeah,
up
yeah.
with others. Like he's one of them. So like I just feel like based on the profile of what they are, Slot can figure out something with these two guys.
So do
Um,
you think he brought him as a false nine, or things change after the Isak news that start came out
no,
that
I,
Isak
I
is
think
essentially
he was
leaving?
always going to be false nine because Ekitike, by the way, not many people talk about this, but he was playing next to Marmoush, and then when he left, he played. I think he played alongside Batshuayi, I believe.
But
So
he was the number 9 when Marmoush was there. Marmoush was the second striker or the.
no, no, they played off one another because Marmoush would make the counter-attacking runs, or he would also create for Ekitike and vice versa. But
Mm-mm.
Ekitike, he was one of them guys that was very good. He was better at linking up compared to Marmoush. Marmoush is one of them guys. He just uses pace go through, and that's why he scored more goals than him before he dipped. Um, so yeah, that's why I'm saying I could have seen him as a false nine because they have Mohamed Salah to be the output guy.
Well, Salah,
Salah
no need.
being the output guy, and then if they got Rodrigo, that's another guy that can help in, you know. And but then again, they also have Florian Wirtz. And Florian Wirtz likes to create. At times, he likes putting himself in certain positions, you know, to get certain goals here and there. So like, my point is, Liverpool can like play very fluidly with one another. Um,
Yeah, I totally agree, man. And but do you think they will be gonna be able to bring both Isak and Rodrigo, or just one of the two?
nah, I think one of the two. One of the two.
Even after Luis Diaz sales.
So here,
And let's say they're able to, even they're gonna sell Chiesa and maybe Nunez,
Darwin
maybe.
Nunes looks like to Al
Yeah.
Hilal. I think, by the way, I think at the end, we forgot to talk about in the Saudi segment. Maybe it was good we bring it up here. I would not be shocked if Inzaghi wants Nunes and we get Nunes, and then that's funds for them. Um, but even then, I think because they don't want to go crazy, because I think of the whole PSR and the whole FFP, whatever it is. I think what they're doing is they'll get one after the whole sale thing happens with the Diaz, especially Diaz. Like if it's only Diaz and Nunes not yet, then it's for sure they're gonna only get one.
Okay, fair enough. Um, I think they can get both. I don't think they will though. Uh, and if they do get Isak, I think Arsenal needs to go and chase Rodrigo by any means necessary, because the gap is still there. I mean, even before the transfer window started, the gap between Liverpool and Arsenal in terms of players, and Liverpool just topped it with Verts, Ekitike, Frimpong and Kirkes and maybe now Isak, I think the gap is grown even bigger between Arsenal and Liverpool. So I think the only way Arsenal can catch up, and make a statement that, yeah, listen, we're gonna compete, is by signing Rodrigo.
Yeah, 100, bro.
Ali, hey, man, listen, man. If you get Isak, brother, I mean, without Isak, I'm putting you as first runners in the Premier League. I think you guys are gonna win it anyways without Isak, and with Isak, you're just gonna seal the deal. And if you don't win the Premier League or the Champions League with those kind of signings, I think that's a big
Oh, yeah,
L
they
for.
deserve. By the way, they deserve to get cooked if they don't win, bro. I'll be real.
Yeah, that's a big L, man. The amount of money you spent. I mean, from where you are currently, a Premier League winners and spending over 300 million pound. I think it's a shameful to not win anything next season.
Wait, oh, apparently remember what I said, kept saying it's sad, rubbish.
Yeah, man, I remember. Man, listen, I think
Oh, the
we are.
pod.
As yeah, he's from Corfod. Man, I think we're in denial, man. Ali, I think we're in denial. We don't want to believe it's true, but unfortunately, Fabrizio today mentioned it that it's true that Isak wants to only join Liverpool. Okay, and we hate to admit it, because we wanted the player. Isak was our number one target as a number 9, and we couldn't get him for whatever reason. We thought he's not going to leave Newcastle, or Newcastle's not going to sell, and that's why we went for the second best striker in the world, which is Gyökeres, and I'm saying in form. So, but Liverpool, I don't know how they managed to turn his head.
No. I'm gonna be honest, yeah. In your defense, صراحة يعني خلينا نكون يعني واقع. In your defense, the guy was always going to stay at Newcastle until the whole negotiation for a renewal with Newcastle happened, and the guy said, "I want 300k a week," and Newcastle doesn't look like they're willing to give him that. His head
I don't
switched.
think that's the case. I
I
don't think
think
that's the
his
case.
head switched, bro. He was gonna
I
stay.
really do not think
Otherwise,
that
Liverpool
Newcastle
would
are
not get
unable.
Ekitike, bro. They were not gonna get Ekitike if that wasn't the case. That's why I'm saying, like, it makes no sense. Like the
No, I
whole, how
think
the
what
whole.
happened is the following. I think what happens is the following. So they went for Isak, and they told him no, even though they were willing to pay, I think, 130 million pound, and they said no. So they went for Ikitike. They got Ikitike. However, Isak, let's say internally discussed the matter with his agent, with his family, and say stuff, and came up with a conclusion that the best step for him in his career as a footballer is to go to Liverpool, which is fair enough. Fair enough
No,
for
it
him
is. I'm
because
not denying that, but
yeah, man, Liverpool
you
has the
could also
greatest
stay at
football.
Newcastle and do something there because they're also on the up as well. So it's
Yeah, I
like,
agree. Newcastle trajectory is there. They're building something for something to win something. That's undeniable. But from where currently they're sitting, positioning wise, Liverpool are in better position than Newcastle. I mean, if you say which club are going to win a trophy next season, you would say
oh, I
Liverpool.
agree. It's Liverpool.
Yeah,
Yes, you're not
uh,
wrong, but that's not the point. The point
and
is
he
for me.
he's at his primes here. You gotta
لا
understand that.
أنا معاك. I'm with you. But what I'm
Yeah.
saying is that I just feel like, logically speaking, if he was gonna choose to go to Liverpool, he should have decided way earlier that because they got to get DK, bro. You know what I mean? So now it's like it's putting like Liverpool kind of, and it's
Mm,
putting Isak in a conundrum. You know, so it's
mm,
like he's
mm,
putting himself and Liverpool in a conundrum. This is why I just feel like his head switched after the whole negotiation for a renewal happened. Because why would Newcastle be this strong about keeping him? You know, no, I know he's that great, but like I mean, like that strong and moving confident, like he was always gonna stay. You know, like that's what I'm thinking. Like don't get it twisted. Liverpool guys, I know Liverpool is bigger than Newcastle. All this stuff because I know Liverpool. They're very in denial at the moment because they're on a cloud nine. They don't want anyone to talk down on anything. Let's be honest. Yeah, not everything, especially when you're Newcastle, when you're Man City, etc. Yeah, Man City is not the biggest club in England, but you know what? Their project is better. Yeah, sometimes it's not about biggest club in this and this. Sometimes it's about are you moving the right way at the current moment? With Newcastle, they're on the up. So like the guy wouldn't have minded staying at Newcastle. It's just the fact of I just don't feel like he got the money he wanted for the player that he is. And now he's switching his mind to go to a club that's going to be winning and he's going to be one of the main players contributing to that. I
I,
think two things can be true, bro.
so you're saying it's because of the money? Is that what you're saying?
I think it's because he's showing his worth.
I highly doubt it. I mean,
I think it's
even
because
the
he's
comment
showing his
from
worth, bro. Like they
the comment,
approached him.
yeah.
Newcastle said no, right? And
Hmm.
then something happened behind the scenes with him and Newcastle and whatever. And and it's come out with the whole wages thing all of a sudden. I just feel like his head's turned, bro.
I don't think it's
Especially
because of the
Newcastle won
money.
it. Liverpool
I
won, I'm
honest,
sorry.
I really don't think it's because of the money. I think it's about the here and now. I think Isak wants to win something in his career, like a big trophy and a big cup. And I think Liverpool are the club who's going to offer that to him. I mean, they are the champions of the Premier League, and after all of these signings, I think they are going to go big, retaining the Premier League and also going for the Champions League. And I think he wants to be a part of it. I don't think it's because of the money, because Newcastle do have the money. And I think if it's purely financial, I think Saudi would offer him a deal that he would,
And I
uh,
understand that, but
he would not. Yeah.
but again, but again, here's the thing, and you and I see it in the chat too. You guys are
Okay.
looking at it only one side. I'm saying two things can be true. You want money and you want to compete in the highest level. Which one gives you both? For Isak's head, Liverpool at the moment. That's my point. Because Newcastle, if they gave him the money and they're in the Champions League and they improve, I also think the window that Newcastle's been having this summer has been very poor as well. Like not many people have been talking about that. I know I said that they're on the up, but for this summer in isolation, it's not been looking good. I think that's another thing. Like
Yeah, it
people
could
need to.
be. Yeah,
I'm not
that's a
saying that's only money. I'm saying it's money on top of the fact that he's competing in the higher level and that other team.
yeah,
That's
and in that case, that's understandable. But I don't think that's an issue or a factor for him, because I think in any choice he would make, Newcastle, going to Saudi or Liverpool, he's gonna earn a lot of money, in my opinion. So the money is out of the table for me. I think it's purely uh, regarding the here and now, and he wants to win now. I think that's why he wants to join Liverpool, which is understandable, because he's the one who submitted the transfer request. That's firstly. Secondly, he wanted only Liverpool. I mean, that's what we saw a few minutes ago from Fabrizio as well. If you check the timeline, Liverpool Isak mentioned that he wants only Liverpool. So that is a clear statement. It's not about the money. In similar manner, what Gyökeres did with Man United, it's not about the money. It's about joining a project that he thinks is best for him, and which puts him in a position to win stuff right now and to be the main guy. And Isak would easily walk into any club and be the main number 9. Even with us as Gyökeres signing, if we sign Isak, I think we should play Isak and not Gyökeres.
no fairs now, man. Fairs. Before we move on though, guys,
Hit the
you
like, guys.
guys,
Hit the like button,
yeah,
guys,
yeah,
for both
like,
videos,
subscribe.
and subscribe on both channels.
Sub- I was gonna say, yeah, man, go subscribe. By the way, Football Rig is tagged on my thing, so because I know majority of you are viewing from me, go click on his and watch from there too. Like my other, yeah. How about you do that, man? Come on, man. Let's support this guy. Let's help him get up in subs. How many subs are you on right now? How many subs are you on?
214 to stuff 214, I
Let's get
think,
him to.
something.
Let's try to help him get, because I know we don't have as many people, but like it would be nice if we can help him get as far as possible to 300 and more subs. When we need to try to push this guy to get to 1K eventually, inshallah. You know, but come on, man. Stop being
Road to
fraud.
1K, guys. Road to
Road
1K.
to one.
With your help,
Yeah,
we can get it.
come on, man. Seriously. But you know what? I want to
Yeah.
move on to a player that has left the Premier League.
Okay.
He's left the Premier League. And no, I'm not talking about Diaz. I'm talking actually about a guy who has joined Barcelona on loan. Marcus
Oh,
Rashford.
Rashford. Oh yeah, Rashford, man. I,
Now,
uh, I don't see.
obviously,
I don't know what they see in him, man. I really don't. I don't.
no, no. So here's the thing. I don't know if you've been see. Actually, you know what? W- Do you have friends that are like Barca fans, Sami?
Yes, yes.
Have you talked to them about the Rashford thing?
Not yet, actually. There are a couple of guys I want to talk to them about it and see what they think. He's actually
Yeah,
also
because
Hilali Barcelona, so I want to.
there you go.
Yeah, yeah,
There you go. No,
yeah.
but actually, no. So here's the thing, right? I've talked to a couple of now on YouTube Space and also thingy here in person. One thing I've noticed is they're taking it as like some a signing as of them signings that like the bar is so low, but they feel like he'll somehow shock the world.
It
That's
can
how
be,
they
man.
see. That's
Look.
how they because they see it like that because of
Hmm,
Hansi Flick. I feel like because they've
okay.
seen Rafinha improve under Flick, they've seen in my club Nabry cook under Flick, all that stuff. They've seen
Mhm.
Ferran Torres, so now they feel like you're right. He can get something out of Marcus Rashford off the bench or something. Now, well, I don't know what you think of that.
Look, the winger market in this summer is there's a huge shortage in the market when it comes to
Yeah, the left wing
availability of,
specifically. Yeah,
yeah, left wing specifically. There's a shortage in the market, and whoever is available, you're gonna pay a lot of money. If you're gonna go for Rodrigo, I don't think Madrid's gonna sell him less than 90 or 100 million euros. If you go to Rafael Leao, you're not gonna buy him for less than a 70
he's
million.
175 million release clause. Really, yeah,
Yeah, and you see now Luis Diaz as well, not less than 70 million. The only winger that I saw that went for a reasonable amount is what you call him,
Lookman
Lookman.
and Rashford.
Yeah,
Lookman and
Lookman
Rashford.
exactly 40 mil. So Rashford is worth 30 mil, and they're getting him for a loan with a buy clause. So when it comes to financial, you don't see Barca spending like big. They're spending reasonable amount, and I think they have a good squad to compete. I mean, they reached the semifinals, and the addition they
Almost,
need is not. Yeah, they. Sorry.
they almost made the final as well.
Yeah, they almost made the finals, and the additions that they need, I don't think it's a lot compared to other clubs. So I don't think they want to spend a lot on the left wing. So Rashford seemed feasible in terms of financial, but when it comes to is the player good enough for Barca, I highly doubt it. I mean, the last two seasons, his performances and trend of trajectory is going downward, in my opinion. I mean, Rashford 2 3 years ago was phenomenal player. If he moved back then, I would say, wow, that's a big move for him. But for me now, coming from Aston Villa alone, I didn't really see not even a glimpse of 10% of the Rashford that I've seen in form. I mean,
Yeah, yeah, but I said this before and I'll say it again. It's the first time you're probably gonna hear it. I just don't think he's the profile that Barcelona need if they need to break down a low block at times. You know, because
no,
all
I
the
think I
time,
think he is. No, I think he is, man. He has a
well,
good shot in him. I think he's a good player, but I don't think he's in form.
because here's the thing: they already have the same profile as him and Rafinha. You know, I just feel like
And the opposite side of the pitch, not on the same side.
no, the same side because Lamine Yamal will play on the right, Rafinha will
Mm.
play on the left. In the middle, it depends if they play Olmo or they don't. Maybe they put Rafinha in the middle and Rashford on the left.
That's what
I
I
don't
think
know.
what they will do. That's what I think they will do. They put Rafinha
Maybe
in the
during the season, that's what Flick will think of doing. I don't know. Maybe
mm.
Rashford can be that backup striker to Lewandowski. Again, I don't know. But let's say they play Yamal on the right, they play Olmo middle and Lewandowski up top, and then the left is Rafinha and Rashford's backup, right? Like, is he going to be something different to what Rafinha already offers? I don't think so. I feel like they need somebody of a similar profile to a Yamal, but on the left. I think low key, the player that we're getting, I think could have done that, but they just couldn't pay the money for him.
Yeah, they don't want to pay the money for him. Yes, you're right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But something along them, I just feel like they need somebody that's raw talent, can beat a man here and there on the left to give something different. I think that's what they needed on the left. I don't think somebody that makes runs and goals, score goals, maybe, or maybe it works. Who knows? But
I would say
that's just
something
my
crazy. I would say something crazy right here, and you can clip take a clip
anymore.
of this statement if you want. But I think Rashford in form is better than Rafinha on the left side in form.
You know what? I'll see how it pans out, and then we'll get back to this clip.
Again in form, not the shit that we're watching from Rashford for the past 2 seasons. So
Again,
if Hansi Flick managed to get that player back to that form that we've seen 2 years ago, then I think he would destroy the league there.
to be fair, he did have some few good years. People acting like he didn't have some good years. He does. It's just I don't think right now he's at that stage in which because he's losing pace. People need to understand he will lose pace.
I mean, no, he's at his prime right now. I think. Let me see. How old is he?
How old
26.
isn't he? Like a
I
late
think.
20s?
No, I think he's 26 or
Is
something
he
like that.
26?
I think so. 27. Sorry,
Okay, so
27.
he's 27. Okay, so
Yeah.
he's about to. So maybe this season is his time to do something before his yards of pace starts losing out. Fairs, fairs. Let's see how he does. Let's see how he does. Let's see. It's an interesting one because they have nothing to lose really with the fact that it's a loan. Like if it goes good, they'll buy him.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
35 M's, I think.
I,
If
I
not,
agree with you.
get rid. It's simple as like for them. It's
And
just
that's a smart business from Barca, in my opinion. Very smart business.
yeah. And then listen, we go back to Premier League here. Because I wanted to actually talk about this. Um, Chelsea. Now, I don't know if you've seen Xavi Simmons looks like he might go there. Even though Bayern have been trying to contact Simmons, but by then it looks like it's too late. I mean, typical from our board. Very typical. Um,
Mhm.
but about Chelsea, how do you think how do you think Simmons would fare if he was to join Chelsea? Because it looks serious, man.
It is serious. They already having club to club, I think, negotiation right now.
Yeah,
Arsenal are also
yeah,
interested, but Chelsea had made the serious move so far. I
yeah.
haven't heard about Byron Links. Maybe
There
he is
have been.
shortlisted.
We made phone calls. We made phone calls. But that's it.
I'm not sure how how
He
far is
wants
Byron can come.
Chelsea though. Because the thing is, he decided Chelsea. So Chelsea approached him, and then
Mm.
by the time it's you know what remind me? Do you remember the Git? Did you hear the Gittins saga that happened? Like he chose
I wasn't
Chelsea,
really.
and then
Hmm.
so basically he chose Chelsea already, and he's about to join Chelsea and everything. And then we're trying to make a one quick attempt at him, and we failed. It's the
Okay.
same, تقريبا the same thing. Um,
Okay. Okay.
so
Fair enough.
yeah, it's one of those.
Um, Look, Xavi Simmons. I didn't really watch him in Leipzig. I watched him when he was in the Dutch league a little bit. I watched a couple of videos of him, and to be honest, looking at him as a player, I think that's not what really Chelsea needs. Because if you look at their squad right now, after they are Gittins, they have Pedro, they have Dilap, and they have Estivao coming. They have Palmer as well. So I don't see where he's gonna play, to be honest. Um, the squad is already oversaturated when it comes to attacking players, in my opinion, and I don't want him even in Arsenal because I don't think his physiques is built for the Premier League. I don't think he will translate uh, very nicely and smoothly in terms of transition from the Bundesliga to the Premier League. I don't think he's gonna make it, in my opinion. From what I've seen, it's just it's a guess,
Yeah.
but
No, to be, it's not a bad opinion and I'll tell you, the thing is with him as well. When I've seen him, when he's on it, he's on it. I'm not gonna take that away from him. He is a talent, but he's one of those talents, للأسف, that when you panic on the ball at times and you don't really show some sort of bravery on the ball, it can hurt you. Doesn't matter how talented you naturally could be. Um,
Mm.
and I just feel like with him, that's what would haunt him if he was to go to a prem side. Um, hell, by the way, even if he joined Bayern, don't get it twisted. I would
Okay.
take him now only in the context of Musiala injured, all that stuff adds to the squad. But realistically speaking, he has a lot to prove to start, and whether it's with us, with Chelsea, wherever he goes, you know. Um, but
Do
yeah,
you
I
think he
think he's
starts at Chelsea?
so you have Pedro more likely to start striker. Cole Palmer Akid will start. Yeah, he could. I think he could. Yeah,
So you
I
think
actually
he's
think.
better than Gittins?
But the thing is, I think they all start because you would have Gittins on the left,
Okay.
Simmons middle, Palmer on the right, and then Joao Pedro up top. Unless if let's say Joao Pedro play 10 and Dilap, they can rotate with that team.
So they're
That's the
gonna
thing.
bench.
Basket
They're gonna
for
bench Neto.
oh shoot, they have Neto, don't they? Ya Sater. I actually
That's what I'm
forgot
saying.
Neto. Yeah, I actually forgot Neto. Wallahi, thanks for reminding me. Wallahi, because Neto is actually one of their main guys.
So
You
that's
know
why
that
I'm
would
saying. I mean,
you, you know what? I think he would start over Gittins, yeah.
okay.
Because you
So
know
you
what it
think
is
he's
with you know what it is with Gittins. Like Gittins is like he's very talented. One thing I'll give, yeah, I agree with Ansar. Neto starts over Gittins on the left. You have Palmer on the right. You have Joao Pedro up top. Maybe Simmons occupies that 10. That's what it is. Because
so that
Gittins,
means
he has the raw talent, he has the talent, right? But the problem with him, his out, and I know how fans move, output. Yeah. He's not one of them guys that'll get you output consistently. He'll get it in some purple patch, which may be good for Chelsea in some moments, but consistently, I don't know, bro. I don't know. And and by the way, I could argue the same over Simmons, but Simmons can play in the 10 al aqal. At least he can play in that 10, and maybe he can basically help feed off what Palmer does, because Palmer likes to free roam like right to left or the center, whatever.
yeah.
Um, so yeah, it's an interesting one, really. It's a very interesting scenario, but yeah, I think Xavi Simmons should be fine. I think the one who's definitely getting sacrificed, and this might be, I don't know how beneficial it is for us or not. I'm not sure. I'll be honest, because the injury record is Nkunku. I think Nkunku is getting sacrificed, and he
That
wants to
also.
go Bundesliga. So I would not be shocked if later in the window we somehow just get him over the line. Even though, I mean,
And also they're going for Hato, Chelsea, and
yeah,
they're the main
Hato at the
thing.
back. Yeah,
Yes, they went for
I
Hato. I think that's a signing they need to prioritize over Simmons, in my opinion, because they need defensive players. They need a goalkeeper more than an attacking player, in my opinion. Because I
that's
mean, they
true.
have Delap, they have Pedro Neto, they have Gittins, they have Delap, they have they have a lot of players up front that they need to look into the defense. I think that's where Chelsea is weak compared to the other positions that they have. So going for Hato, I think that's the should be the priority for Chelsea, in my opinion. They need also a goalkeeper, unless they want to go with Sanchez. Man,
Very risky, in my opinion. Very risky.
yeah, man. I mean, they're
But
doing
yeah,
good business up front, but at the back they're still way behind. So I think that's where their focus should be.
yeah, facts, man, facts. So any other side we need to talk about? Uh, is there anything you want to add?
Uh, well, these are the hot topics during the last week, I would say. So everybody now is following the Isak saga. You want to see how it ends, and I think he's gonna end up in Liverpool, in my opinion. But which interestingly, I want to see what's gonna happen with Rodrigo as well. Those are the two players I would say the main focus of the media and the fans will be around Isak and Rodrigo, where he's going to be and who's going to sign them. Isak, most likely Liverpool. Rodrigo is going to be an interesting player to to observe during the transfer window. I'm shocked that even Bayern Munich is not also looking into Rodrigo. I think it's weird because you guys are one of the clubs that can offer the amount of money that Real Madrid
Yeah.
wants, unless Rodrigo, stated that he doesn't want the Bayern Munich project and he wants to join the Premier League. That's another story. But overall, in the summer, man, it's we'll see. Arsenal played their first game preseason against the AC Milan. We won 1-0. Uh, the team looked okay-ish, but we definitely that left side looks shocking to me. So they need to act as fast as they can and sign a left winger, in my opinion. Either it's Eze or Rodrigo, but we need to bring that player over the line for Arsenal to compete, because you cannot compete with Martinelli and Trossard, no matter how brilliant Arteta can be. No matter if you put a masterclass in terms of tactics, that left flank is just weak.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah. No,
flying with one wing.
no, yeah. By the way, there's one more thing quickly we can touch on very quickly. Um, Real Madrid, uh,
Okay.
they've announced their new number 10, I believe. Kylian Mbappe. Now Modric is gone. That number 10 got vacated. Then
Okay.
given to Mbappe. So now number 9 is vacated. Like, what's your thoughts on Mbappe's time at Madrid? Do you think now that them giving number 10 to him is a smart idea? Apparently, some people are arguing in their fan base that Arda Güler should be getting number 10. I'm curious to know what TKA would be saying about that as a Turkishman.
I don't know. Arda Güler is still, still raw, in my opinion. So I don't think he's, cemented his position nicely in Real Madrid yet. Taking the fact that Ancelotti didn't really rate the player, so the Ancelotti preferred even Brahim Diaz, and that was that was the hot topic between Saad and TK. That who's better, Diaz or Arda Güler? But I
Uh,
think Arda Güler can reach has a
I think it's Arda
high.
Güler. I hate to say it, but it's Arda Güler, bro. I mean,
Yes, but
out
at
of
that
him and Diaz, it's you know why? Because
currently yes, I agree with you. But at that
Diaz,
moment,
yeah, Diaz is that type of guy. You say you follow Morocco too, right? Like, kind of like Diaz with Morocco.
mm,
Yeah, the problem with like Diaz with Morocco actually does very well, to be fair. But in Real Madrid,
he
the
did very
problem
well under Ancelotti, man.
he did, but he has his moments in which my Rak is famed. He's like sometimes he's not as alert as Arda Güler. I feel like Arda Güler is like more aware positionally
Arda
and
Güler has
more has more vision.
no, he has a higher potential. He has a higher ceiling. I totally agree, and I would not deny the fact that Arda Güler can reach heights that Diaz cannot. I agree, but at that particular moment in time, Diaz was performing. He was in form. Whenever
Yeah,
he
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 was. He
stepped,
was.
whenever he stepped in the pitch, he would score a goal or assist a goal. So he was doing what you're supposed to do as a winger. Arda
100%.
Güler
Yeah.
was Arda Güler is still a young talent, and I think he can groom to be even better. There's no doubt that he can reach better heights than Diaz and even way far. But we'll see how the development happens with Arda Güler. But as things stand, I don't think Xabi Alonso will depend on him the whole season. I think he's going to bring a player that can help the team when it comes to creativity in Madrid, especially the moment that they lost Modric. So they need somebody at that level, and I don't think
I
Arda
think
Güler is that level yet.
the thing is, I think Guler will start games next season. I actually think he'll be depended
Yes,
on.
he will definitely. Yes,
I
hundred
actually think
percent.
he will. But
Mm.
if we're talking about someone that can play deep, I do agree they need someone like I actually think they should listen. I hope they don't, but they should go for Stiller. I really
Who?
hope they Angelo Stiller from Stuttgart. Now I don't think he will
I don't know the
leave.
player.
No, I've followed him at VfB Stuttgart. I'm telling you, bro, he is one of the midfielders that like if he gets an exposure like at a bigger club, fans will be saying mashallah, bro, because this guy he runs around, wins the ball, progresses the ball very well, good passer on the ball. he's nearly complete, bro. I'm not gonna lie. In terms of what he offers, he's nearly complete. Like he used to be with us on in our academy, and then we got rid of him. Like we get rid of majority of our talents because we're absolutely a bunch of head donkeys on the board. Um, and yeah, since then he's been at Hoffenheim. Figured his ways over there, gone to Stuttgart, been doing his thing. He actually scored a cracking goal against us the last time we played them in the Bundesliga.
Mhm.
So yeah, and Madrid were linked to them initially. I actually think they should have a look at him again. I think Angelo Stiller is one of Liverpool were linked with him, by the way, if you didn't know. Um, so listen, I actually think he has a very high ceiling wherever he goes. And if he joins Madrid, I actually think that midfield for what they have would be sorted, man. You know?
But back to your question, when you talked about Kylian Mbappe,
Yeah, Mbappe with the 10, yeah. Just
yeah.
quickly, yeah.
So I think it's a PR thing to get the number 10 for him. I mean,
Yeah,
he is a
more
player that is
transparent.
pushed. Yeah, he is a player that is pushed heavily by the PR. So I think it's a PR thing for him to get at the number 10. But as a player joining Real Madrid at the first season and scoring 44 goals, I think no players have ever done that in Real Madrid. To score that amount of goals in the first season. So he demonstrated that he is that guy, the main guy, and Vinicius not performing, Rodrigo not performing also helped him a lot. And there's this upcoming striker, I think, in Real Madrid. I forgot his name, but he looked like,
Oh, Gonzalo Garcia, Gazdak.
yeah, that player looks good. I'll
He
not
looks like he
lie.
adapts to situations, to be fair.
He did. I mean, he reminds me of Raul, and that kind of players that are smart, and I think he's gonna be a great addition for Real Madrid. Uh, but yeah, Mbappe man deserves what he's getting, the number 10, and he earned it from the first season. Obviously, no Madrid fan would say that Mbappe is bad or anything, even in the first season. He had a first, I would say, couple of games, a rough start,
First few
but
months, I would say. First few
yeah,
months.
he had a rough start, but he grew into the role and became the main guy easily. I think he's built for the spotlights, and Madrid is about the spotlight, being in the spotlight and being under pressure. And we'll see what he will do under Xabi Alonso. I mean, I think Xabi Alonso will even push him even further and unlock the potential he has, and we'll see.
Yeah, fair enough. Um, yeah, but guys, listen, I think we will end it here. Um, Big up to every single one of you that tuned in
Big up,
for both
guys.
channels. I actually hope that Sammy, you got a good amount of subs and likes for your side. Because if not, they're moving like Mikel Arteta. How fucking dare they? But anyway, guys, if you haven't done so, you know what to do. Subscribe, like, comment your way on both channels. All right. Go check socials for both channels. And inshallah, you guys are well wherever you may be. We are going to raid Flawless. Those who are on my channel, we're gonna raid him. So I want you to just say Zir raid. Actually, you know what? No, Zir and Sammy raid. That's what we're gonna do. Yeah, we're gonna be fair. Zir and Sammy raid. Right?
Cheers, guys.
So do that. Take care. And you know what? We need to. You know what? I want to take the piss out of somebody. Who should we troll? You know what? This is gonna probably be me when we get when my Saudi club gets Darwin Nunes. See you later, guys.
Oh my god. Oh my god, here we go again. Here
See